Well, students, we're gonna design some totem poles today. I'm gonna give you a strip of tan or brown paper, and I think it will be best to divide this into 4 parts. So the first thing, I'm gonna do this pretty lightly so that I can change it. This is about halfway. I'm just really marking this out so I can get 4 totem pole characters. So then halfway between that line and this line, I'll put a line. And then halfway between this line and the top, I'll put a line. And so that's really 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, but it makes 1, 2, 3, 4 totem pole animals. Now, the fun thing about totem poles is that they are animals, but they're really abstract. So they're imaginary versions of real animals. You're welcome to take anything from here. Like if you really like the design of the wolf, you're welcome to use that, but try to put your own spin on it, your own idea into it. And you can see that I've also just made up some of my own too. So let's take this first one for example. Instead of just having a straight line, I'm gonna change this to kind of these ear shapes. And then I can take that and erase that line. That's why I said just do it lightly so it's easy to change it. And I'll start on the bottom with one. I think that I want to put some like rectangle shapes in here because those kind of look like rectangles. I'm going to have maybe a line. I do like that kind of line that's there to kind of separate the top of the head from these ear shapes. If I double line things, then it'll be easy to make new colors. Some of these nose shapes are kind of fun. I'm gonna do my own nose shape. I'm gonna do just kind of a line with some circles and then a curve on the bottom. On purpose, I'm making some of this go right off the page because I do want to make these ideas pretty big so it'll be easy to color it. Kind of like when we did your owls, I said, well, make sure your shapes are pretty big so then it's easy to add color. So here, let's put some details inside those. And then I do want this mouth going right off the bottom of the page. So this is just kind of the top lip. And then I'll have like the teeth going right off the bottom, okay? Now if I have one that's done, then I'm gonna make the next one. I think this one I want more to be like a circular shape, so I'm just gonna bring that up. I am still trying to keep it close to the sides of the paper. I wouldn't wanna make it small right in the middle. And then that brings me up to about here where I can erase this line. And that lets me know where my second one is gonna be. You can see this one I tried to just make up my own. I made kind of a monkey shape. This one's kind of a cool like shark shape. So I think I want to make up my own forehead shape, but I'll go, since I already have like a monkey shape here, let's make up one that would be kind of a cool like shark shape. So I'm gonna do some eyes. I'm often double lining things so I can add more color. Just using my imagination, make this really big. And then, even though this is the focus on the face, maybe I still have like some gills for him to breathe underwater. Or maybe I could imagine this as being like a shark fin or something. So just, even though that's not the appropriate place really for it, since it doesn't have a body, I still can imagine where those shapes might be. Now let's move up to this next shape. I'm gonna make this one, still stay close to the sides of the paper. I like to do ear shapes, so that's just something additional that we could put on here, and we'll bring that one up. I'll have that kind of come over. I'm trying to make both sides the same on these. You don't have to, but that's something to do. And then we'll bring that up. And then I'm just gonna invent my own one here. Let's erase that part. We'll erase this over here, make that look a little nicer. And I wanna just invent my own character. I'm gonna do kind of a shape that has an oval and a zigzag. And then I'm gonna make a really kind of long nose shape. And then maybe I'll do like some spirals on the edges. And then I'll make these shapes. You can see these eyes are kind of similar to these. And then I'm gonna make a mouth that's gonna come down and around. I'm just gonna use that whole space. Add another line in here, the mouth, and then I'm gonna do some shapes for the teeth. And then these shapes could be some ear shapes. And then even have a little bit of space here to make a new shape. And then I have space for one more up at the top, so that's 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna add one more. Often totem poles have a bird on top. You can see there's not space for wings on this, so I am just gonna do like a bird's head shape, and I'm gonna just lightly put it in here so I know how much space I wanna have some head feathers. And then bring that line in. I'm gonna do maybe a beak shape. Then I'm gonna do some shapes for the eyes here. And the other eye is gonna go off the edge here. And then I think that I'm gonna do I'm gonna erase that a little bit and put maybe a feathery shape in here. And yeah, I think I'm happy with that. And maybe a couple other feathers on this side. So once you have your totem pole drawn out, you're happy with the way that it looks, then you can raise your hand and I'll give you a marker. And that's really all we're gonna have done today, would be the pencil, and then you can trace it out with a marker. Let's move over. I'm gonna move over to this one. This one has everything all traced out. Once you have it all traced out, if you get done early, I would like you to do a little bit of erasing if you can see any pencil. And then sometimes I'll spend a little bit of time adding some wider or thicker lines to create shadow. You can see I've filled in some of these spaces inside the mouth. This is kind of a wider, thicker line. Have some thicker lines in here too, as well as down in here. So if you do have extra time, you can always add a little bit more of a thick line. And then next week I'll talk to you about adding color and cutting them out to create a totem pole and its background too. So let's have fun designing these using our imagination.